Skeleton Crew. We're at Skeleton Crew with weekly drops on Disney Plus, a Star Wars TV show that's betting on what that feeling was when you discovered Star Wars as a kid and actually like making that into a TV show. These kids got their pirate ship. They're out in the galaxy. Their parents are trying to get them back. They teamed up with a Jude Law kind of force wielding bad guy that, like, to me at this point, full spoiler alert for like where we're at, episode 5 just dropped this week on Disney Plus, the week of Christmas. So just a midpoint check-in on the series, full spoiler alert. To me, Jude Law was definitely that captain we met in the very first episode when they were like, he's like, this is where the treasure is, and they like are
Yeah.
that had to be him, right? And then they locked him.
Oh, that was him 100%. They captured him and threw him in the brig. You had the wolf guy who became captain, took over the captainship, and now he's chasing them all across the galaxy.
Yes,
That was for sure Jude Law.
so chasing him, he's on the run. Pirates are after him, but then they meet these young kids like on the pirate headquarters, like where the ship first took the kids in that episode, the second episode, I guess. And this is where we learn like, oh, this is the pirate hub. And the kids show up with their old Republic credits from their planet at Aten, which is where they're from. And every time they mention this to everyone around town, these people are like, oh, this is like a hidden treasure planet. And with a little help from one of Jude Law's owl friends, the owl that could talk, and
Yeah.
she had like the coordinates of like every planet everywhere. It was like, okay, let's try to get you there. They end up finding a planet adjacent to At-Aten. It's called something else, but it looks just like At-Aten, except it's like in ruins.
Yeah, completely torn apart.
It's like, oh, they made a bunch of these versions of At-Aten. It's all these like old Republic planets that they like set up with like where they're like kind of Earth-like, right? Where it's just like keep control. They don't know about all the history. Old Republic credits work. And then in this latest episode, it all kind of comes to a head. They do find the coordinates of At-Aten inside the treasure of like this old pirate, right? That apparently is like the ship they've been on the whole time. This like legendary Blackbird-esque pirate. Jude Law's like, that's the ship we're on. This droid knows a lot more than he's ever said he did. He knew pretty much like everything and got them to where they needed to go. And then Jude Law reveals his colors. He's a bad guy. He gets the coordinates. He takes over control of the ship, threatens the little girl, and then the kids like escape at the last minute through like a trap door in that treasure room to where are we going from here? That's where my brain is at with the show. What do you think I'm not saying, Scotty? What's your reaction to the show so far?
No, you got it. You got it. So far, I think this show is fantastic. Still getting some blowback online from everybody who didn't want to see the acolyte. I think this show is something completely different. Please give it a fair shake. So far, the star of this show for me, SM-33, the droid, the
Yeah.
pirate droid. Man, yeah, Nick Frost over there. What and this whole cast is just really good. I think there's great chemistry. The adventure is really falling in line. Some really funny stuff in this last episode where they're running from the security top and bottom.
Oh yeah, at that like resort day spa place that like had
Yeah,
they had mud baths. That
the
place, it looked insanely good.
yeah, everything looks great. They had that giant creature down in the spa that ended up helping them out.
Yep.
That looked amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this is Stranger Things has come to Star Wars, and it's even not as scary. Like you could watch this with like young
No,
kids.
it's not scary at all.
You could,
This is for kids.
it's
This
for
is made for kids.
but I mean, the kid in me, I guess, is loving it because it's like
Absolutely.
it's also like bringing you back to like I don't know what's around the corner in Star Wars. Like Star Wars, I don't know what is going to be on the other side of this door. Like I don't, and it's brought back the mystery of like not only do you not need to know anything, you might not know anything. Like even if you've been reading the original stories and you're a diehard like Clone Wars fan, I don't even know if this stuff is served. Like, that's what they always toe the line on. Can we serve those diehard fans and create something new for like someone like me that's like not as deep in it? And like I'm being served. I wonder if like the deep like Danny Patron of the world,
Yeah.
like are they like getting served up like some little like pirate nods and stuff? I just don't know.
Yeah, I can't wait to see when this series wraps up and get Dan on here
Yeah,
and get his thoughts. I'm really curious if it's his typical complaint where
it's just
get
kids.
these kids off my Star Wars,
Right.
or
Or can
if
it do
this
it?
is doing it for him.
Yeah, can it do it? This cast is awesome. I'm a big fan of Fern, the girl, Ryan, Kira, Armstrong. You got Robbie Cabot Conyers playing Wim, hilarious. Uh, Kiriana Crater playing KB, and then Robert Timothy Smith playing Neil, the elephant-looking character, eh,
Yeah.
who is just cute. And Carrie just comments on like the whole time. She's like, "I can't stop looking at that elephant kid. He's so cute." And he's the kid
The
from Deer.
practical costuming and effects
He's the
have been top notch here.
He's the kid from that Dear Santa movie with Jack Black where he accidentally writes the letter to Satan instead of Santa.
Is that him?
That's him.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great. Great for him.
All right, and what do you think about Jude Law? He's definitely like wielding the force, but he's like a bad guy, and now he's got a lightsaber.
Yeah, Jude Law is nailing it here. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, and he's putting it on display here,
Yeah.
leading this cast of kids. Everything is going right.
I had a funny like thought to myself where like a friend of his like calls him. He's like, "How's work today?" He's like, "Well, I'm working on that Star Wars kid show, so you know how that goes." And it's just like,
Man, when what's his name, Wim, opens that lightsaber upside down. Oh my God,
I thought
hilarious!
they were like this close to pulling the Rick and Morty episode where they just keep dropping the lightsaber directly upside down like this,
Yeah.
and every time they do that, it goes straight down to the like it ends the world. Like, yeah,
Oh
yeah. I
man.
guess they're doing it. Like, I mean, we're 5 episodes in. You know how many episodes we get on this? Let's find out.
Man, not many more, I don't think.
Just a couple more. Let's do
8?
I'll confirm. Good old IMDb. All right, here we go. There will be 8
8.
episodes. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you got some really great directors on this.
Oh yeah, look at that. I'm looking forward to the number 6 right there. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah,
You know it's going to be a banger.
it will. It'll
All of
have
all of her episodes of
the
The Mandalorian.
yep.
Oh my God, they were so good.
And then you got John Watts. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so 8 episodes of Skeleton Crew, and we'll be talking about them on the podcast. And yeah, Danny Patron, if you're listening to this one, it's about time. We're gonna need you to
Yep.
watch it.
We're getting close.
If you haven't watched it, you're hearing us say you should watch it, so maybe we can convince you. And then we need you and every other Star Wars fan out there to let us know what you're thinking of Skeleton Crew. I know personally, I'll be like looking into Star Wars Explained is up the podcast. Well, they were a resource that I used when we did our big Star Wars timeline episode. I'm going to be going to them to maybe try to peel back the layers a little bit and get some more character info. And I feel like I'm missing some like lore and nods here and there that would be kind of fun to. It's fun to piece together like what is this old Republic world? Like why aren't they taught the history? Who's the master controller of all these things is what you're starting to ask. And like what are these Aten planets? Like
Yeah.
and then the Jude Law
Where
pirate
does
side is a whole nother side.
I think I probably looked this up before, but I don't recall where this falls in the timeline. And
Right.
where does this go? Is this just a standalone thing? Is this something that can continue? Are we going to do a different thing and maybe pull some of these characters out? Is this something that happened a long time ago? Is this something that's happening in the, current, episode 9-ish
Mm-hmm.
canon? Or is this like between episode 6 and 7?
Looks like it's
Okay.
the Star Wars series Skeleton Crew takes place in the Star Wars timeline 9 years after the battle
After
of
the Battle of Yavin.
yes
Yavin.
Yavin, whenever the Death Star blew up. So 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, when
Wow.
Luke Skywalker wins. This is only 5 years later. This is
Yeah.
the
Luke Skywalker could show up in this.
Yes, anybody. Han,
Yeah.
Leia,
Mando.
I would say Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Fennec Shang.
Wow.
There you go. So like they're I think that's smart too. Keep it all right there. And then we got
We could get Darth Vader in this thing.
you get Darth Vader's out doing his thing. Obi-Wan Kenobi? We had the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah. And who is Jude Law's character? Is he a youngling from the episode 3 that got away after Order 66?
Right.
Found his own way?
Like he's the guy that like pushed the elevator button for Grogu or something.
Who knows? Wow.
I mean,
So many mysteries.
exactly. But I think that like not getting bogged down by that stuff either is what this show has going for it. Like, can you keep it elusive, but keep like a story
Yeah.
going? You know, how much do you need that scratch versus like, hey, do we want Skeleton Crew season 2? You know, it might be
Yeah.
because now you got this like stranger cast type ensemble where, all right, let's watch these kids go through like crazy missions and maybe have like a bigger impact or something.
Yeah. But by the time we make a second season, they're all going to be looking like they're 25.
Yeah, with those just like really rough mustaches that are basically just lines.
Yeah. I'm excited though. I want to see where this goes
Me-
in the Star Wars as a whole. If it goes anywhere.
yeah.
Does it have to go anywhere? It doesn't really have to. This could be its own thing.
Yeah.
It's standing well on its own right now.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's just episode to episode. You just don't know where it's going to go. I'm excited. Like right now, like those kids fell into a hole. Like where are we going to go from here? Like you know you're going to meet
Was
some
the
other
hole full of spikes and, you know,
they're all dead.
acid?
Oh man, that was pretty dark when he killed all those pirates with the acid.
Yeah. Fill the acid back up. Ah!
You knew it was getting dark.
That was a little dark.
And then he like puts the knife to the young girl's throat and it's like, here we go. Like it's like full on bad
Yeah.
guy. I don't need these kids anymore. I'll just go get the treasure and get out of here.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep watching. We're having fun. Let us know if you are as well. Skeleton Crew Star Wars show on Disney Plus. Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Carrogan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.